Hey folks, James Abrenio coming to you from Abrenio Show. Wanted to comment on a case that's making its headway through the news, and especially TMZ, dealing with the famous actor Alan Ritchson. He's Jack Reacher for you Amazon fans, and if you'll recall, if you're aware, he apparently got into some type of issue with a neighbor. So what I wanted to do was show the initial video that was given to TMZ, and then show essentially body cam from Alan's own video. So here's the initial video, I guess, shared by a neighbor. So when you see that video, it just shows Alan essentially beating the crap out of a neighbor, and it looks pretty bad. But I guess Alan actually was wearing body cam when this incident happened, which I think is pretty important to see. So let me play that for you.
Are you kidding me, bro? What? Stand in front of a again, dude. Dude, what? You threatened my safety, bro. Are you kidding me? I should not be fired at him. Go ahead, go get him. Go ahead. I've called the BPD. I've called them already because you'll be driving on this neighborhood like a lunatic. There's kids running around here. Go ahead. Go ahead. Are you drinking? Go ahead. Call the police. Out of your mind, dude. Call the police. No. You. Fucking out of your goddamn mind. Stay down. You stupid.
So obviously, when you see that second video, you see a very different depiction of the facts as they're happening. You now see that the neighbor is effectively stepping in the way as Alan's driving his motorcycle. That could have caused the neighbor to get injured. That could have caused Alan to fall off his bike and be severely injured. Whether or not he was driving crazy down the street before or not, I don't know. We obviously don't know. I'm sure that'll come out in more detail. But as the neighbor is then confronting Alan, you can see Alan essentially saying, look, you could have got us both hurt. And at some point, it appears the neighbor lunges towards him. And so then you see Alan use physical action respond. From the first video, it looks like he's just punching him in the head from far away and making good connection. But if you see the body cam video, you actually hear Alan saying, stay down. And it almost appeared like he wasn't giving the full force when he's swinging at him. And frankly, when I first saw the video, I was surprised that the neighbor wasn't more injured. I mean, Alan's just a huge guy. And so I suspect from that video, he's not hitting as hard as he could have been. He's not, connecting as well as he could have been had he really wanted to hurt the guy. So a few things to take away from this video. And I think I can tell you, handling both criminal and civil cases, having handled a lot of assault cases, one thing that I think folks oftentimes do is just kind of jump to conclusions. You see that initial video and all of a sudden, you see this big, guy that plays, like literally a guy's job is beating people up. Here he is beating up this neighbor that's relatively small compared to him. And so you're judging him. But then when you see the full video come out, you realize, look, there's a lot more context to it. And I will say, in many of my cases, oftentimes there is more context. There's more than just what meets the eye. And I always encourage folks, especially prosecutors, to if I'm defending folks, but also if I'm pursuing cases, let's get all the facts out so we can have a discussion about what the full body of facts are. It's also important to realize that if you're either defending or prosecuting a case from a lawyer perspective, you need to do what you can to obtain all the information you can before you start jumping the gun, whether it's trying to get video, whether it's trying to get witnesses. Heck, I have a case right now where there was an accident. My lady was hit in an intersection walking, and I called a local gas station to see if they had video, and luckily they do. That's now an important piece of the case that, you know, if you're not making those extra steps, you can really lose valuable information for a claim. So, you know, don't jump to conclusions. Of course, there's other questions that are raised by that incident between Alan Ritchson and his neighbor. Did he go too far? Was the force he used justified? You know, was the neighbor's behavior and stepping in his path justified? Maybe Alan was driving so fast that he was almost killing people and things like that. I mean, I just don't know. Obviously, there's more information to be learned, but the second video obviously gives a lot more context and kind of hurts the credibility of the neighbor, I would say. At least that's my view on it. But another thing to think about, and the last thing I'll say is, if you're out in the real world and you're seeing somebody driving crazy, or somebody is in your path and you're driving and they're behaving in a way that is aggressive, do what you can to avoid the situation. If you think that a neighbor or somebody else is driving crazy, call the police. It's not your job to stop them. And it's definitely not smart to put yourself in harm's way. And if, you know, you're a guy that's being confronted by somebody else about allegedly bad behavior, take a deep breath, do your best. If it's that concerning, call law enforcement yourself. But what you don't want to do is be in a situation where somebody's instigated you into a physical altercation. While in Virginia, at least, there are the ability to defend yourself. That doesn't give you just the freedom to do whatever you want. And unfortunately, you see scenarios where someone goes from defending themselves to like actively assaulting somebody using way too much force that was ever necessary. Somebody gets seriously injured, and then, you know, law enforcement has to investigate. And you never kind of know where those land as far as the results. So a lot to be learned from this. I also say, look, you know, I've seen folks criticize Richardson. I've seen folks criticize the neighbor. Again, we don't really know the full context of everything. All I would say is, look, everybody's human. You can be a famous actor and have millions of dollars and still be human and make mistakes. You can be a neighbor that's living in a wealthy neighborhood that has, you know, movie stars as neighbors and still make mistakes. So as we're all on the outside observing this, just realize and remember there's still human beings involved. I don't think either one of them are inherently bad people. Maybe the neighbor had real concerns. And maybe Alan was being a jerk. Maybe it was just the other way around. But either way, you know, just gives people grace, give time for people to process, let law enforcement do whatever they're going to do and make their investigation. So hopefully this is useful. If you find it useful, like, subscribe, share. As with all my videos, none of this is intended to be legal advice, especially something like this where I'm just commenting on a story. But if you have an issue here in Virginia, give me a call. We can talk. Otherwise, like, subscribe, and share. Thanks a lot, guys. Wish you the best. Bye.